Yeah, obviously I'm really pleased with the performance tonight. I thought it was one of our best defensive efforts of the year. I've only seen a couple times this season where we've played with the same intensity as tonight on defense, and I thought we maintained our defensive intensity longer tonight. So it was an excellent effort. Everybody contributed. I thought at the beginning of the game when it was close, Ty was just outstanding and was a big reason why we were able to get the lead in the first place, and fortunately we were able to extend it. But I'm most pleased with the defensive effort and everybody contributing and the amazing day by Ty.
How about that 20-2 flurry, the 4 3-pointers in a row that really distanced yourself? It was a fairly competitive game to that point.
It
That
was.
flurry was just really impressive.
Yeah, it was, we obviously had a big advantage at the three-point line. We shot a good percentage from three, and we limited their three-point shooters' look. So that was a place we had a big advantage, and we did a really good job on the boards. Our guards, Ty had 13 herself, but our guards got in there and helped contribute. So that's kind of what we're capable of doing on the boards if everybody is going to make a contribution to that area. But it was a great game. For us, it's just a matter of can we understand it's one game, and you got to go out the next day or the next game and prove again that you can play defense like that and that you can play together like that and hopefully even get better as this conference season goes on.
Is this the first time you've been number one in the mid-major poll?
It isn't. We have in other years as well.
Okay, I was thinking I couldn't come up with another.
Nick has the information.
2015-16.
My bad. Okay. But they handled that well. You're top ranked this week, and I thought they came out, and like you said, I thought they played really, really hard and really well for 40 minutes. They handled that number one thing pretty well.
Well, yeah, I think so. I'll admit that this week in practice, I didn't think it was one of our better weeks of practice. So we had a really good shoot around this morning. I was really happy with this morning. Yesterday was a lot of mistakes, but good intensity. And it's one of those times where we really put it together right at the right time. Because a few days earlier, we were playing really sloppy in practice and not as focused as we need to be. But everybody came out today and they were ready to be part of the, ASUN season and make a statement right away.
Rose's left knee, she had a brace and some ice on it. Is she okay?
Yeah, Rose is tough. She's good. How are you, Rose?
I'm good.
Okay.
So Rose, tonight you're playing your arch rival. A little bit extra pumped up for this, perhaps, or just deciding to put 40 good minutes together? The whole team pretty much did that, I thought, tonight.
Yeah, you're right. I was a little pumped, but it's another game, and more importantly, I just wanted to make a statement coming out in our first game of conference. So not much that it was Stetson, but I just feel like we've been practicing for a very long time and working hard. So we just need to come out here and then show you guys like what we've been working with.
Ty played her heart out tonight. She was really impressive tonight.
Yes,
What does that mean for you guys when you see a teammate on the floor wrestling balls away, crashing the boards like she does, and boom, making three-pointers?
That she shouldn't be the only one, and she picked me up a lot. Ty did everything tonight, and that was really good energy that helped me personally.
Ty, how do you feel about the number one ranking? Did y'all talk much about that this week? And how important was it for you guys to start the ASUN off 1-0 with a really nice win against Stetson here today?
We talked about it a little bit, and Coach basically said we're number one and we need to play like we're number one. So coming into the first game, we definitely played like we were number one.
And how important was this for you guys to start off 1-0 in the ASUN, especially against a team like Stetson?
Oh, it's very important, especially against Stetson. They're our arch rivals, and the win was just great for all of us, and it's a boost for us to keep winning in the rest of the conference play.
Carl, you've talked about you want to keep getting better. You want these girls to understand that they have a little higher over the bar. They can maybe jump and push them a little more. You're off for a week. Well, not off, but you can practice for a week before NJIT here at home. It's a good week to get some of that stuff done, I would assume.
It is. our team knows that even though this was a excellent performance, they know when they come in, they're going to see some things that we didn't do as well as we could have. And then they're going to see the things that they did well that we're going to want them to keep doing. So they know that it's whether we play great, play poorly, it's always a learning situation. And when we get back together, we try to grow from whatever happened. And, after these types of games, usually it's easier to get back in the gym because everybody's in a great mood and everybody contributed to a big win.
And Ty, you got NJIT. They're not, they're 2-15. They lost by about 40 or 50 today against Upstate. But important to follow up, obviously, on today, and important also to get better between now and then for NJIT.
Yeah, that's very important. I mean, every game is going to be important. It's conference play.
NJIT, your thoughts on them? I looked around. They got a kid, the Kelly kid's pretty good three-point shooter.
Oh, yeah, she's a really good shooter. I didn't see what their box score was today. Torres kid is a really good player. We'll have to – they've actually played us here pretty tough despite the record. We've had some close games going into the second half. So, they're coming off a game where they didn't play well. We're coming off a game we played great. Doesn't mean anything a week from now. I mean, we're going to see how much we can improve over this week, get prepared for them, and hopefully have another really good performance.
Carl, they have 3 double-figure scorers on their team in Chambers, Colclough, and Beach. He held Colclough to 2, Beach to 5, Chambers 11, but most of that came in the second half when the game was already a little bit out of hand. Was there specific emphasis on trying to shut down the players that their best players, or?
Well, yeah, we definitely wanted to contain their best players, and it takes a team effort. E did a great job on Chambers. She's a great scorer. Rose did a tremendous job on McKenna, and then Ty and Gradijan combined to do a really good job on Kennedy. Kennedy's had a great season so far, and Ty just had a great defensive effort.
Looking at hustle plays, things like that. 6-0 fast break, 23-8 off turnovers, 13-0 second chance. Are those figures that you as a coach like to see?
Yeah, we definitely want to have an advantage in possessions. So we have to turn it over less and get on loose balls and win rebounds and take better shots, and those are things that we try to emphasize.
After South Dakota State, you had talked about being able to teach from a win, things that players can do better. What are some things you can point to that you can kind of look at in practice this week and go, here's where we can improve? Because it's hard to say after a 40-point win that, well, this could be done better.
I'll watch the tape and I'll find something, but South Dakota State's a really good team. We won. But if you remember, we gave up a ton of threes. So there's a big emphasis this week of not giving up so many three-point attempts to shooters. And, I thought we did a really good job of that. I mean, Stetson's got some good three-point shooters, and they only got 3 attempts for the entire game. So you can see, I think that's a good example how you can win a big game and get better going into the next game if you're willing to fix some things that happened in the last game. And to our team's credit, there was a noticeable difference in our attention to shooters this game as opposed to last.
Lynn said before that she thought you guys were a lot better than you were last year when you played them, but she thought Lisa was pretty big for you guys, and she's been a huge impact. What do you see from her and playing with her?
What do you think, Ty?
Oh, I think Lisa is a great add to our team. I didn't expect her to be like she is. She's a great attacker, and her shooting has got a lot better since she's been here. So having Lisa on the team is very, very great for us.
Yeah, Lisa's great. She's a player that you don't have to worry about each day because she has the right attitude and the right effort, and she's somebody that gets along with everybody really well. So she is fit in great. We just have to manage her minutes because she's She's had some knee issues over her career, but when she's in there, you don't notice it. I mean, she's flying around. She's making plays. Yeah, she's been a great addition.
One last question, Carl. Sorry, I forgot to get this in there. But, you know, people might look at the score and even maybe Stetson's record 9-8 and think, oh, they weren't any good. But, you know, they beaten UT Chattanooga. They beaten Florida. So what you did today was against a pretty good team, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they beat Florida by, 15 points. They beat UT Chattanooga. And if you look at their record, to Stetson's credit, you know, they're playing teams like Western Kentucky, Wright State, Texas. I mean, those are a couple of the best mid-majors, plus second-ranked team in the country, that type of thing, Florida State. So those are games that would be tough for anybody to win. So they've played a really tough non-conference schedule. You know, I'm sure today they know that they can play much better than they did tonight, and we know that we played really well, and we don't always play as well as we did tonight. But hopefully we'll start playing this well all the time.
Anything else, guys?
Good, thank you.
Thanks.